Well, it's an interesting question. It's not so much about the house. It's a question of whether or not is it worth fighting over anything in the divorce. And what's the litmus test for that? The litmus test is if you don't really care and the other person wants it, it's not worth fighting about. Give it to them. Fight about what you care about. Don't fight about the things that you don't care about. You want to fight about who gets a blender? At the end of the day, you don't care about the blender? Give him the blender. Give her the blender. Doesn't make a difference. Should you fight over the house? Well, again, it's going to make the analysis has to be, is it worth fighting over? If, for example, the house has no value, or the value, because let's say the condition of the house is less than the debt owed on the house, I don't know if it's financially worth it to fight for. Could be that someone has sentimental reasons for wanting to keep the house or whatever. You have to ultimately decide, is it something worth fighting for? Now, let's say you want to decide whether or not to fight over the equity in the house, and there's $5,000 of equity in the house, which means you got $2,500 coming and the other side's got $2,500 coming. But for whatever reason, they don't want to give. They say you caused some damage and therefore they want to give it to you. Now, you could get your share of the equity. You'd have to go to a hearing. We agree on everything else, but that one thing. So you're going to have a heart-to-heart talk with your lawyer and decide whether you want to pay your lawyer to do a trial, which will likely cost way more than the $2,500 you're going to get on the house. And you can have to make that decision. And you may decide, you know what? Money is money. It's $2,500 and it's going to cost me $12,500 in trial fees in order to get to the $2,500. I'm not interested. That may be a legitimate way of analyzing the situation. Or you could look at it, look, it's not about the money so much. I'm not going to be ripped off. I'm entitled to it. I should get it. I shouldn't have to give it to the other person. So therefore, if I have to pay my lawyer to do a service, I will. But I'm not letting somebody steal my property. There's a very legitimate way to look at it too. And I've had clients take both positions, that it's not, that they're willing to pay for legitimate service. They're not willing to be stolen from. I get that. So it could be one way or another. You're going to have to decide, number one, you want to fight over the house? Yes. Does it pay to fight over the house? Okay. Let's see what the value is of the house. What are you going to get out of it? And if you're going to get something good out of it, then fight for it. And if you're not, then you have to decide, do you want to fight for it anyway? Maybe you let the other person have the house. You take something else instead. Maybe they take your share of the house, but you get less of the debt. Might be worth it for that. Maybe they get your share of the house, but you get, the 401k. Or maybe you get the better car, depending on the value. So we have to look at it that way. But if you look at it that way and you make appropriate analysis, usually that's an answer that, with the assistance of your lawyer, you can come up with an answer to that question that really makes sense for everybody.
248